In front of the steps of Jersey City City Hall, Mayor Stephen Fulop, State Senators Brian Stack and Sandra Cunningham, Prosecutor Esther Suarez, and Public Safety Director James Shea all spoke about new bail legislation that will be introduced in the state Senate. Fulop, who first brought up this issue at his Ward B State of the City address last month, explained why he felt new legislation, which would make illegal gun possession a violent crime in certain instances, was important from a Jersey City perspective.
Just to highlight Jersey City, in 2016, at this point in time, we had 74 handgun seizures throughout the city. At this point in 2017, the Jersey City Police Department have 95, working together with the Hudson County Prosecutor's Office. It's a 29% increase. Arrests for unlawful possession of a handgun in 2016, up to this point in time, was 51. Today, up to this point in time, is 84, a 65% increase, which speaks to the access to guns that young people unfortunately have in places like Jersey City, in Newark, and in urban areas across the country. Working with the state, who has tracked this, they say, and the statistics point to 52% of the gun arrests that they tracked from the beginning of the year until now have resulted in immediate release. And this is what this legislation will change to give more flexibility to the judges and the judicial system to make sure that we aren't releasing our most violent or high-risk individuals right back onto the street where they can terrorize neighborhoods, intimidate witnesses, and inflict more damage.
Stack, who will co-sponsor the bill, said that this is a necessary measure to help curb gun violence throughout the state.
I think what's most important, you see the great work that law enforcement here is doing in Jersey City. Jersey City Police Department has worked extremely hard on reducing crime, along with the Hudson County Prosecutor's Office and law enforcement in general across the board. And you see reductions in crime in many different categories, but when it comes to gun violence, we're seeing an increase where the access to guns, not only in New Jersey, but across the country. I mean, New Jersey has some of the toughest gun laws, but individuals are able to obtain these guns by going across state borders, and it's a major problem. This legislation will stop that gap and sum up that gap where people are back out on the street again.
Cunningham, the other prospective bill co-sponsor, said that bail reform was never intended to put dangerous offenders back into the community.
Bail reform was designed to make sure that people who were incarcerated and who were being held for small fees, such as $200 or $300, who could not go back out on the street and continue to work and take care of their families while they were waiting for their trials to occur. It was never designed to put people out on the streets who was a danger to the community.
Additionally, Suarez explained that bail reform is a work in progress, adding that the only current types of offenders that aren't released in short order are those accused of murder or potentially facing life in prison.
Criminal justice reform has changed the way we do business, and what it changed was essentially when someone is arrested, the presumption for most people is that they be released, they not be detained, they not be incarcerated. The only two exceptions that the law has provided for was if someone is charged with murder or if someone is facing life in prison. Those are the only two occasions where someone would be detained, presumably. This would change that. This would add firearms possession to that list.
Shea, the final speaker during the presser, thanked the local elected officials for trying to close what was commonly referred to as a bail reform loophole, since it will make the lives of the men and women in blue safer. Not everyone in attendance at 280 Grove Street was in favor of new legislation, though, as New Jersey Drug Policy Alliance State Director Roseanne Scotti said there was not enough data to justify making more changes to bail reform just yet.
We are a major part of the coalition to get bail reform passed, so we're very concerned about not going backwards. And the law has only been in effect for 3 months. I don't think we have enough data at this point. I think you'd have to wait a half a year, to get more data on this. But certainly, cherry picking particular offenses and saying they're the ones we're going to hold people for is a very slippery slope. We think the law has been working really, really well. It's only been in effect for 3 months. The jail population has been reduced by almost 30%. There are a few incidents, a handful of incidents out of the more than 6,000 people who have gone through the system. So I think that's a system that's working really well, and I think we should also focus on how well it's working and the fact that the vast majority of people who were released didn't commit another crime.
I'm John Hudson with the Hudson County View. The eye of the community.